But the biggest one so far is when one of the WHO members messaged me and said, I'm a big fan of your TikTok, keep up the work. I obviously didn't believe it. I had to Google the guy, and he is like the head of the digital team. And then he mentioned me on his LinkedIn. Then he asked me to join a meeting with the stakeholders. And in that meeting, there were people from YouTube, Amazon, Google, UK Cabinet, Facebook, and I was the only doctor from social media.
Dump in the jump. Top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rapture. I'm so out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line, what you fall through with the light sticks. Maybe help me spark the ideas. We got nowhere else to go. It's only up from there. I've been on my own, just running through the field. Say vivid for the ears. I know that's how they like.
Welcome to the A1 with Moyin. Now, normally I bring you a brand new episode every Tuesday, but we're launching something really interesting, and that is TikTok Thursdays. For the next month, I'm going to be interviewing some incredible South African TikTokers. In this episode, we talk diversification in content. I have two incredible TikTokers, starting with Dr. Sia, who has over 1 million followers as he shares valuable medical knowledge and debunks myths. I also chat to Mimo, who uses TikTok to share information about her medical condition. Dr. Sia, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I am actually really excited to have this conversation with you because I feel like you are the doctor on TikTok, for Africa at least, and a lot of people don't actually know you're based this side, do they?
No, not really.
So you are a medical doctor by profession, you're practicing. In other words, you're still going into the hospital and you still have patients.
Every day, even this morning.
And what made you go into TikTok?
So I knew about TikTok, I think in beginning of March, when my daughter showed me one of these trending videos where you are wearing casual clothes and then boom, into fancy clothes. So, and at that point I was doing some management course and I had to write an essay. So I couldn't wait for it to finish to start making videos. And what also pushed it is that it was the beginning of the pandemic, so it was a very stressful time for us to prepare for COVID. So it was a good escape from reality, and then I would go and make videos, and that's how it started.
Okay, wait, so your daughter was the one who first introduced you to TikTok, or did you already have TikTok and then you started
I had the app, but I never opened it.
What made you download the app?
I think because I saw a video on Facebook maybe, I'm not sure where, and then I downloaded it. I never registered for it. And then when my daughter showed me, and I was like, hey, we must do this. And until today, she reminds me that I'm famous or I'm on TikTok because of her. I'm like, fine, okay.
Yes, girl, she must take all the credit. She's right. With your 1-point-something million followers, I'm sure she's feeling very chuffed with herself. So what was your first video? Did you straight off the bat start creating medical content? I feel like there's a story there that can smile.
I don't have many videos. I think like less than 300. So it's easy to scroll down. Mm-hmm. My first video, it's very embarrassing, but it was me after like not sleeping the whole night, writing the essay, coming home from work, laying on the couch, taking my camera, and just putting the tear effect and having tears to some sad song by Luis Capaldi. And I'm like, that's my first video. Basically doing nothing, just like looking, crying, or, well, the effect.
And then what made you decide to then like fully jump in?
I think in March when I joined, me and my daughter did a few videos, and it was fun, like for us, like a bonding experience. She wanted to do she did her own videos actually, and like recorded them, and then I did few, and we did together until to a point where like the pandemic was getting started, people were getting infected, and I was getting lots of messages on my Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. My colleagues, friends, what do I do? My friend had COVID, what I need to take, how do I treat it? So I realized that there is this need that people are craving answers. So I started making medical videos around May, June, and I realized that there's they were well received, the people following, people asking questions, and me being a doctor, I have this passion of making people feel better, help them, educate them. So it was like my passion met TikTok, and it just blew.
So have you always been creative?
I was like actually thinking about this myself, like before joining TikTok. Even my Instagram and I think I had like 6 pictures on my Instagram, and from like 2016, and my Facebook is like once every 6 months I post something.
Yeah.
So I didn't know I can do this. I've never done a video, never been in front of the camera. So it was I was surprised.
Yeah. So the main reason you ended up being on TikTok was because people just started asking you questions about health situations, and you just felt like it was an opportunity?
So in the beginning, when I joined, I was chatting to one of my friends, I think it was in April, and then I told her, she also joined TikTok also. I think she had like a video, and I had like a few videos, and I told her I want to be TikTok famous. So she responded with a smile like, okay. And then I think she sent me the same screenshot like 2 months ago.
Oh,
I was like, you
really?
see, I did it. I know you were laughing that time, but I didn't think, because I was so stressed during the day with dealing with COVID, so you didn't come home. It was like a good escape, and it was fun for us, and I'm sure it was fun for people who were watching. So I'm glad that I joined.
I mean, yeah, because now you're sitting on 1.3 million followers. So, I mean, you've achieved becoming TikTok famous. And we were chatting about this off camera, but you had some pretty amazing opportunities that's come about because of TikTok.
Yes, it's been a very rewarding experience.
Yeah.
I think the first one was when Good Morning America asked me if they can use one of my videos. I was like, sure. I didn't believe it until they sent me the media release form. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it is real. But the biggest one so far is when one of the WHO members messaged me and said, I'm a big fan of your TikTok, keep up the work. I obviously didn't believe it. I had to Google the guy.
Yeah.
And he is like the head of the digital team. And then he mentioned me on his LinkedIn. Then he asked me to join a meeting with the stakeholders. And in that meeting, there were people from YouTube, Amazon, Google, UK Cabinet, Facebook, and I was the only doctor from social media there, asking us, what help do you need to fight the misinformation? I think only then I realized that, okay, maybe I'm doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, if WHO, and obviously, my dad's a doctor, and so I understand the gravity of WHO. That's not just like a small company around the corner. That is freaking WHO.
I was like, we are saving the world. We are superheroes.
And when was this? Like, how far into your TikTok journey were you having, Good Morning America and WHO reaching out?
I think Good Morning America, I'm not really sure, but it was before I was verified. So between June and October, I would say, that's when I started doing my medical stuff. WHO was around that time, like October, November, and then had the first meeting with them in January, and it's been a monthly meeting since then.
Yeah.
So there's a story. I was checking my emails in April, and I realized that in Jan or Feb, I received an email from a journalist that works for British Medical Journal asking my input regarding an article that she's writing on TikTok and doctors, or doctors in TikTok.
Yeah.
And she wanted my input like the same day. I was like heartbroken. This is British Medical Journal. It's like GQ for men, for us, for doctors. So I responded and I said, I'm really sorry. I didn't see your email. It was in my spam folder. She's like, it's okay. Hopefully our path will meet again. But this is the article that she wrote. I really didn't want to open it because I knew I'm not going to be there. But then I was reading it. So I could see my heart like crying. And then at the end, I see my name and shared like a line or two about me. I'm doctor from South Africa, what I'm doing on TikTok. It was like, I was like over the moon.
I mean, it's so crazy. Like, in 1 year, here you are, a medical professional, what would be considered like one of the most serious jobs ever. Here you are creating content, but I love the fact that obviously you're creating content that's valuable. You're creating content in a time where people were very scared and worried about what's going on. Like you said, you would come home from an intense day at the hospital because it's COVID. People are dying. People are unsure about what's going on. And so the knowledge you were able to give was informative, but also fun because it's still TikTok.
Yeah, I realized people on TikTok don't have time to listen to a story. And people don't really watch a video more than 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So, and obviously people don't understand like medical terms. So I realized that on TikTok, people don't have time to watch a whole lecture. So I try to make my videos like, I think my longest video is 15 seconds. So, and I try to give the information in a fun music background if I can, but if I cannot, like very simple, to the point, and to grab the attention, make them understand, and I put some extra explanation if needed in my comment. So very precise, simple, short, and it's been working.
Yeah.
And I started with COVID information, HIV, because we have the epidemic in this country, and then went to women's health, mental health, chronic condition, so a bit of everything.
Now, reaching 1.3 million is not a small thing. And you have a full-time job, an extremely demanding full-time job during a global pandemic. So here as a doctor, I'm sure that's intense. But somehow you've also been able to like be this TikTok strategist, if I can put it that way, to create content that your audience enjoys. So talk to me about like you actually creating for the app and posting and how you find time.
I saw in one of your interviews, one of the creators says she makes 8 videos a day. I wish TikTok was my full-time job. I wish I had time. But I think at this stage, I know what information people want to know. I know what kind of information to post. So I know people say quantity over quality, which it might work for many, but I'm going for quality over quantity. So, and it's not easy because I'm not a very talented person, so I cannot dance or sing or act. So I need to prepare. I need to read the latest articles. I cannot put, I'm friends with, or I became friends on TikTok with some of the world leading doctors in like their fields. And I cannot put something that is like controversial or not true. So I have to do my research. I make my videos, and then if there's a good sunny day and I could look okay on the camera, I'll make like 10, 20 drafts and I use them whenever I can.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it has to be so batch creating, right? So you shoot a lot at one point and then slowly. Also, you said you're not talented. I feel like you need to like not say that ever again. Like you can't say that. You can't say that as a medical doctor and a TikTok famous one as that, who's worked with like W.H.O. I think it's incredible that you're able to find time to offer, in a weird way, a service and give people value. So you create content that's pretty much medical focused. And I'm curious as to what you think about the diversification in content. Because like you said, you're not necessarily dancing and singing and doing even, some of the lighter. I mean, your content is still pretty engaging and still pretty light and informative, but it's not what people assume TikTok to be. Do you know what I mean? It's not like Renegade and all the dances, which is great because I love dancing and so I enjoy the app for its various forms. But I think with you, I'm really excited about the fact that it's being used in a different kind of way. So talk to me about the app and maybe not just using it for like the entertainment aspect of it, but the educational aspect of it as well.
Okay, so I think majority of TikTok videos are for entertainment, but there are lots of educational ones, from lawyers to doctors to artists. There are people teaching maths on TikTok. So, and I've been learning a lot. It's up to you. So if you want, TikTok has an algorithm that will show you more of what you want to see. And I follow cryptocurrency experts to lawyers to doctors, and I'm learning from them. And I also follow obviously some comedians or famous people. So it's a as you call it, diversified.
Yeah,
Yes.
it has diversified.
That word.
That's the word. No, and I think that's great. I think it's great for people to know that, one, they can reach an audience on the platform and offer what they are already doing, that they don't necessarily have to become a dancer or a singer or any of that. It's like, just bring value onto the app. And because your growth is just in a year, 1 million in a year that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Has it affected your other social media platforms? Do you create for any other platform, or you're really just a TikTok doctor? Is that like it?
Yeah, I am. But I posted a video feed like last week, or more than a week ago, and it has almost 15 million views. That video I posted on my Instagram also last week, and my Instagram grew more than 10,000 followers. So I was, I had like this 4,000 that was growing 10 every day to, I think this morning was 17,000. And brands, I'm here now. I'm Instagram famous. I applied for verification on Instagram. I'm like, that doesn't hurt. It's like,
I freaking love the fact that you're having so much fun with this. Like, you're just like, also, what in the world? So you just like, that video did extremely well for a reason, I'm sure. 15 million on TikTok is not a small thing. And then to just casually move that on to Instagram and have 10,000 followers.
Yeah, more than 10,000. It took like a few days for it to grow. So I was like, but I don't understand Instagram's algorithm. Maybe I should read about it. And then within a few days, growing. Like, I think I had 2,500 followers the other day, yesterday, so yeah, it's doing its job.
That is amazing. So now you said brands. I'm curious, have you worked with any brands? Do you want to work with brands? Or like, what do you see in regards to brands?
Okay. So I didn't join TikTok for brands, let's say.
Yeah.
Because it's a passion, it's educating people, it's especially in the pandemic, the vaccine misinformation. So, and this has been my goal from day one. But someday you are sacrificing so much, it's not only time. So sacrificing time from something else, from sleep sometimes, the exercise, diet, like all these things. And I feel like I have this integrity, or that I have been offered to like advertise for an app, like like last year. Medical products, masks, and I don't think they fit what I'm doing. I think one of the latest one was an email last week from a drug company, or the agency wants to advertise a drug for a specific condition, which I was very excited because it's FDA approved, it's proven to work. But then once they realized I'm from South Africa, they said it's only approved in America. So I was like a bit disappointed, but I'll be excited to work with what's valuable and what my followers will get help from and better their lives. So yes, I haven't worked with any brands yet.
But it's not because they're not reaching out.
Obviously. No, of course not. No, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Is there any particular brand that you're like, you know what, this could be a good one. This could work.
I think I've emailed Pfizer and I've, at some point, Nike and Adidas. My first viral video was a calf challenge where I put my calf and the calf of a professional football player. And obviously my calves were better because I'm an ex-sprinter. So that video had more than 1 million views, and I was like, hey, I can go to brands. And I don't know if I emailed Adidas or Nike, but it's difficult because whatever, most of my interviews, my appearances, it's me doing my own PR. But it's also difficult for, if I had time, I would approach brands. I don't know if I can mention, there are many pharmaceutical brands here, the medical brands. I can even talk about mental health by going in a hotel. I can advertise a hotel. So I think in my platform, I can work with different kind of brands, but I'm looking for an agent.
Okay. I think it's quite interesting actually, because you're right, it doesn't have to be brands within the medical industry.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
You can be placed in different things.
Health industry could be sport, could be nutrition, could be medicines,
That's true.
anything.
That's so true. Oh my gosh. So in your dream world, where anything is possible and you could have the most incredible opportunities from being a TikTok doctor, what would that be? Like, what would be like an ultimate amazing opportunity?
If W.H.O asked me to come and work for them, that's probably like to do what I'm doing on a global level, to educate people and improve people's lives. That would be a dream.
So W.H.O, I mean, you've already started the conversation, you know.
I'm in a group chat with them, so but I can't say it. Hopefully they're going to see this interview.
I love that. I mean, but that is incredible. Okay, W.H.O, aren't they based in, the head office is in Switzerland?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because one of my dad's best friends worked for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so yeah, we actually got a chance to go to Switzerland because he was based there. So look, I think obviously digital platforms or social media platforms like TikTok are valuable for reach. They're valuable to communicate information, and sometimes they can be looked down on because either people are misinformed or don't really understand the gravity of it. Have you gotten any weird side eye or oh my gosh, this doctor is on TikTok, how does this look?
Yeah, of course. I mean, even from my colleagues in last year, they're like, making fun of me, pointing at things. And I was like, okay. And now I'm like, hey, I'm the one who was on TV. I'm the one who went in TV. I'm the one working with W.H.O. Yeah. So they do, but secretly they all are on TikTok for some reason. So they are on TikTok. They're not making, but I can go, even my parents, initially they thought I'm on some app, random app. I told them I'm this, I'm verified, the first doctor in the country. They're like, yeah, but have you studied for this exam? Have you done that? I'm like, Mom, I am famous. So now my mom is on TikTok, my sister is on TikTok, my brother being supportive from the beginning. So they are very proud.
As they should be. And I'm sure it took a while for them to fully understand. But once you get that WHO job, everyone's going to look back at this and be like, oh, is your son who's a doctor also on TikTok? He must also go on TikTok. You know how parents are, right? They're like, oh, I don't know about this. And then once you've done so well, they're like, I think your child should also be on TikTok.
I'll be that person, yeah.
Is there anything you want to highlight, actually? Is there anything that you want to highlight before we end this? I
want people... So they say, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And I firm believer, which is also a fact, that if you work hard, you can beat talent. So there are many people who are waiting for that things to be perfect to post. Please go check my first video. And yeah, just check it and see where I am now. So if you work for it, if you have a goal, and must work a bit more smart, if you strategize, let's say, yes, because I had to dig for free time. So if you can achieve it, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Yeah. And I encourage everyone to go on TikTok. You have a talent, could be drawing, handwriting, anything, and people value information. So you go on TikTok, and if you can learn something, people are famous for just drawing paint on the wall and making drawings, so please, yeah.
Go on the app.
Go on the app. Do it.
Quick question. So with TikTok, a lot of the times you have to jump on trends, right? You have to, for growth strategies and
Yes.
to have your videos be seen by more people, maybe outside of just your audience. Do you jump on trends as well? How does that work?
So, no. I'd love to, but it's time constraints, and also I use trending songs in my video if I can.
Okay.
Because I believe that if it's a trending song or sound on TikTok, it gets pushed out more. So if your video is using that sound, no matter what is it about, it's going to be pushed up. So I've hopped on a few trends, and I think there's like some dance move in one of my videos. I'm thinking back, the Romeo and Juliet by, never mind, don't go watch it. Yes. So I have, so I try to make a medical video on that song, but you don't have to if you can't.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
You are a doctor, so obviously
Yes.
I appreciate that a lot. You were even still doing the rounds this morning.
Yes.
And all the best. I mean,
Thank
now
you.
you're doing extremely well on TikTok. Instagram is booming. You never know what's going to be next.
Exactly.
And yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
Mimo, thank you so much for doing this. I am really excited to get into your story. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I feel like your TikTok story is so unique in its own way, but so powerful as well. So firstly, when did you get on the TikTok app?
So literally I only started last year, when lockdown started. So I was like, okay, now everyone was bored and here's this app and everyone seems to be having fun. And I was like, okay, I'm only gonna join just to watch the videos. And then at one point I was like, no man, actually, because I've been doing, I'm on every social media, why not join and do what I love? Like spread positivity and teach people about my health journey, but in a fun way. And that's exactly who I am, the fun Mimo. I'd be dancing, yet I'd be doing something ridiculous. So it doesn't have to be like a professional dancer, but getting to the point and drawing more attention and sending the right message.
Wow. Now what was the first TikTok? Was the first TikTok about your story, about your health? And we're going to get into all of that. Or was it just a fun, different piece of content?
It was actually about my health, my transplant journey. So I had a liver transplant in 2013, and I actually took everybody through the journey, and I got a positive response. And I thought to myself, you know what? Even if it's like 2 or 3 people, that person is sharing with another, and at the end of the day, it's growing. And that's what's happening now. I'm actually growing and teaching people about rare illnesses.
Okay, yeah, so you were very intentional then. You were really like, if I'm going to be on this app, I want to tell this story. I want to share about my health. So for those who maybe haven't seen your TikTok, can you explain what happened in 2013 and what your health TikTok videos have been about?
Okay, so 2008, I was diagnosed with hepatitis autoimmune disease, which led to my liver being critical in 2013, and the only solution was a liver transplant. And I had a liver transplant right when things were going well. I was on treatment where a prednisone was actually feeding on my bones and teeth, funny enough, and that led to osteoporosis. So 2015, I'd go to my doctor and explain to him my legs keep swelling and going down, but he couldn't see it because I'd go to him and the leg is back to normal until my leg stopped going back to normal and it was bigger than the other one. So I felt I've never had like a low self-esteem, but I know I've been making research and there's still not enough information as to what causes the illness. And I was like, okay, this is the best opportunity for me to actually tell people through my experiences. And it's always better coming from a patient than a doctor, because doctors have learned about all these illnesses, but I've been through them. And then 2016 again, I had like an acute liver rejection. So I always tell people what I've been through, what were the symptoms and what to look for. And I've seen social media has become that platform to get the word out there. And what no better way to do it when you're having fun. So you're having fun, but at the same time telling people what to look for and giving hope.
Sure. When you posted that first video, how did you feel? Were you nervous? Were you apprehensive? Were you like, okay, I'm going to post this, okay, maybe not? Like, what were you thinking when you were posting that first video?
When I first posted it, I was like, but I don't think it will be as interesting as the other TikTok videos. But then it wasn't about being on the spotlight or having to go wild, but actually sending a message out. Because already I've got like followers on other platforms. I'm reaching out everywhere and anywhere I can. And that was the motive.
So when did your video start growing? Did the first one just, because with TikTok, any video can go viral. So was the first video, how many people saw the first video? What were the comments? What was the engagement like on the first video?
The first engagement on the first video, it was more like, I somehow look or find, I hardly get the negative comments when I share my story. It's always, oh, this is inspiring, or I get DMs to say, I know someone who's going through this, what can they do? And it didn't go viral, or even now, it's still, I can go back and be like, it's not doing as good as the others are doing, but I think you start to learn how to do things, which is what the Rising Voices is doing for us, helping us to actually know your brand, how to engage with people and give them exactly what they want and still be able to do what you love as well. So, yeah.
I mean, even though, you didn't go viral or any of that, you still reach, I believe you're 120,000 followers. Just under, and so that's obviously a community of people who are engaging with you and learning from you and consuming the content you're putting out, which is wholesome, which is educational. Was there any part of this TikTok journey that you were like, I don't know if I want to continue sharing or posting about this?
I think only when it comes to time. But it is so fun. You spend so much time not realizing that you're actually on the app. So now what I do is that instead of just being on the app and just scrolling, I now create. So it's it's not time wasted in a way.
True. That is so true. What has been some of the fun, non-health related content that you enjoy putting out?
My dancing. I think, I know that people don't believe this, but I'm shy. But I'm a crazy being. So anything that makes people laugh or forget about what they're going through is just me. So I just want to see people smiling and laughing about it. Like the Vinny challenge, oh my goodness, did it not go crazy? And there I am, every time I go through it, I'm like, go stiffness. I'm like, yeah. But it's all about having fun.
Yeah. I love the fact that you are intentional. You're saying, you know what, I want to have fun on this app. I want to educate people on this app. And, yes, I want to grow. And yes, reaching more people is great. But the main thing for me is to educate and is to have fun and entertain with it. So you're working full time?
Yes.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm turning 32 in a few days.
Look at you! Look at you!
And I'm still looking like 21.
I love this because I think there's only nobody I've interviewed is under the age of 25. And the stereotype of like TikTok being for like Gen Z or whatever, that's only kids on the app. But in my experience, I'm seeing, I think it's because the app is just so much fun. And right now, it's not like Instagram where everything is like so like, filter ready and perfect and all of that. That people just having fun, showing their personalities. And the audience is resonating with authenticity and resonating with the fact that it's video. There's not a lot you can hide in video. And so it's just like silly, fun, goofy, educational, but still lighthearted in the end. What kind of content do you enjoy consuming?
I think the health part, because recently I posted, half the time people see half my body and me explaining these things, but I've gone into actually showing the whole body where they actually see the difference in my legs, because I'm always talking about lymphedema, but now when they see it, they're like, why are you wearing one sock? No, it's not fashion, but you can make it fashion. It's actually to compress the legs. So the more they see, the more questions they ask, and the more they also want to know about lymphedema or whatever illness I've come across.
Actually, I just realized, doesn't Wendy Williams have the same?
She does. She does.
Yes! She does, and she always talks about it. Because remember when you said the sock and compressor, I was like, oh my gosh, Wendy actually talks about this as well. And for you, when you create the content about your health and about your journey, is it important to also have some elements of like entertainment or trends, or is it like, for these kind of videos it's just informative, and then other kind of videos like the dance one, like the Uncle Vinny one, you can have also on your page, but not necessarily in correlation with the health? Because with TikTok, they're always like, get your niche and incorporate it into trends. Was that something you did, or you just kind of like separated the two?
Well, at first, I think this was before I actually joined the Rising Voices. It was more like just focusing on the health. But then I actually realized, no, man, it's actually more fun. And you do not want to make it like way too serious for people to be like, because people just call by. The minute you get way into what's happening and get too serious about the health side, educational side. So you want to make it fun. Let them be like, okay, I can join this. Oh, actually, no, she's talking about something. And you always want to be that person where people talk about you like, oh, you know that girl with lymphedema, but she doesn't hide it. She's like always dancing in a video. I wonder if it's painful. Like, and then you get like questions about, is it painful or what's happening? So yeah.
So that's nice. So they kind of work together in informing still. Even the fun, lighthearted, it still becomes informative. Have you had people reach out to you who have the similar disease? Can you share a story?
I think that's the most amazing part about TikTok and the other social media, where people actually reach out and say, I'm going through the same thing. What do I do? Where do you get the compression sock? And I always emphasize that I'm not a professional doctor, but these are the symptoms I went through, but you cannot self-diagnose yourself. Always go for medical advice. if these are the symptoms you're seeing, we could be going through the same thing, but it could be a different condition. So I always advise, and I've connected some people with my doctors as well. So that's one other thing I do, rather to have someone who's professional and where they can get the compression sock, I'm always sharing.
Sure. I think it's incredible that it's so informative. You've actually had people link up with your doctor. Sometimes with this social media world, people are always like, oh, what's the value of social media? Sometimes if you work with brands or companies or people from an older generation, they're like, oh, these guys are just having fun. But you were able to affect real people who connected to your doctor, that train is moving. It's a real life story. Did you ever find out if they continued with their doctor? How involved do you get with that?
Trust me, my doctor always says, oh yeah, you refer so and so to me, and I see you there on Instagram. I'm like, hold on. So yeah, we do talk, and I think he's also happy to the fact that, okay, I'm not keeping all this information to myself. If I'm able to share and help someone else, then go for it. And I always get feedback to say, okay, I made an appointment to go see a doctor. If they're far, then they're able to see other people as well. At least they've got an idea as to how and what to treat. So there's always like a light in a way, rather than going to a doctor and saying, okay, here's a leg, it's just swelling up. But have you ever looked into like lymphedema? What are the symptoms? I could be, I must say, lack of information in South Africa, a lot of people see it as lymphitis. So that's the only thing it's related to, but it's actually not.
Sure. So what I enjoyed so much, because we got a few creators to have a look at their content, and when my manager and I chose you, it was because we felt like the app is a powerful app, and it's not just about the dancing, it's not just about the trends, it's not just about kids, that it's a tool to share stories. And that's why with yours, and I love the fact that you've been able to create a community, you were using it for something that may not be seen, to tell a story of something that is maybe not always shared commonly, especially on social media apps. What do you think the importance of like diversification on the app for people to have teaching videos, dancing videos, mental health videos? What do you think about diversification on the actual app?
Actually, when you mentioned that, it went through my mind the other day, when I was picked, and I went and followed everyone, and I was like, actually, these people are good, like they are amazing. And then I looked at myself and I was like, hang on, this is actually not a competition. But we were all chosen because we focus on different things, and which is where diversity comes in. I mean, you get someone who would be cooking, a doctor, a patient. So I think that's the more where the fun is. We don't focus on just getting up and dancing or makeup, I woke up like this. So it's quite different, and the more we get like different content, that's when we actually teaching and allowing more people to join the app and be like, actually, I'm different and I've got this talent, why not try it out? And it won't get the fire like that. We all we start somewhere, but we will get there.
Absolutely, and I'm so excited that TikTok was able to pick creators, like we said, diverse, not necessarily just in skin tone, but in content, because it's just important to have a variety of people with a variety of skills on the app to share and to educate. And anytime we can educate a variety of people in a fun, engaging, quirky way, that's always incredible. And so I think it's really great that they're equipping a whole number of creators, 100 creators, to be able to grow and to be able to possibly have this as a business. Like I know I'm doing the last session, I believe, on digital entrepreneurship. And I wanted to know from you, with you having a full-time job and having TikTok as this platform for education, is there something that you want to build the TikTok side to be, or for you it's just a platform to educate and have fun on? Which is fun, which is amazing.
It's literally a platform to have fun, because I feel like once I get more focused on, okay, I want to make money on this app, then I'm actually losing my purpose. And I wouldn't want to be now selling my story to say, to teach someone they need to pay a certain amount, and then there's no fun in it and there's no giving hope as such. So, yeah.
Have you had brands contact you?
Not on TikTok yet, but hopefully soon. Well, I have worked with Cortex, and it was on like TikTok where we're actually dancing, and which was my part of learning as well, to say, oh, we could actually put the words in and show them there and then only. So yeah, I'm actually learning TikTok. I'm still learning.
Yeah. Have you been able to, because I know a lot of TikTokers grew and blew up, but during COVID, so at home, but have you been able to connect with any other TikTokers?
Not yet, and I'd love to. I mean, I look at their content and they're the funniest beings, and I'm like, actually, I'd love to work with some of them or everyone if it's possible. But because of COVID, and I think because of our times, I mean, not everyone is only available on weekends like I am, so.
Well, Mimo, thank you so much, firstly, for sharing your story. I love that you've been intentional about sharing it on the different platforms that you're on, and TikTok just happened to be one of them. And I'm looking forward to our session, when I finally get a chat to all the TikTokers, all 100 of the rising voices. I keep saying rising stars. They're rising stars and rising voices.
I guess we're stars.
But more than anything, thank you for sharing your story and educating and just being intentional about it. I just love the fact that you're intentional in giving hope, intentional in educating and helping people. And I hope that just never ends.
It won't end now. It's just the beginning. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. Awesome. And that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back next week, Thursday. So make sure you subscribe, put on the notification bell, give this video a like. And if you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment section down below. Until next time, bye.